Sandman.
In 1961, a humanoid creature with wings behind his back was seen hunting by one William Lamb. At the time, a woman and a man driving along the Ohio River saw a figure standing on the road with burning red eyes. In the 1960s, a strange flying creature with a wingspan of 3.5 meters appeared in the area of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, USA. It was dubbed the Mothman. On November 15, 1966, two married couples, Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Millette, were driving by an abandoned munitions factory late at night. One of them noticed two burning red lights and asked to stop to find out what they were. The young men got out of the car and walked a little ahead. Then, suddenly, they saw it. It was a human-like creature, 6 or 7 feet tall, without a neck. Its head flowed smoothly into its torso. Its eyes glowed red. Behind the creature, wings opened and it moved toward them. The young men rushed back to the car, started it up, turned around, and drove off in the opposite direction. The girls turned around and screamed hysterically. The creature spread its wings and hovered a meter off the ground, followed the car, making a squeaking sound. The speedometer read 100 miles per hour, but the monster kept up. Only when the city lights showed up did the creature stop chasing. The young men immediately went to the sheriff. He listened to them carefully and asked for a detailed description of everything that had happened to them. The fact is that this report of an encounter with the Mothman, as journalists would later call the creature, was not the first. In 1961, a humanoid creature with wings behind his back saw on the hunt a William Lamb. At the time, a woman and a man driving along the Ohio River saw a figure standing on the road, with glowing red eyes. The creature spread its huge wings and soared vertically upward. In 1965, a boy said he saw a soaring angel, a woman described a giant moth. On October 12, 1966, 5 gravediggers observed a strange creature sitting in a tree. At first they thought it was a man. However, when the supposedly human opened its wings and flew over the frightened people, they realized they were mistaken. On October 15, Newell Partridge, who lived 90 miles from Point Pleasant, was watching television in the evening. The program was interrupted by interference and a dog named Bandit howled. Newell took a flashlight and went outside. Shining it toward the barn, he saw a figure with huge glowing eyes. The dog rushed forward with a bark, and Partridge backed into the house. All night long he sat cuddled up with his gun. He never saw his dog again. On November 16, the Walmsley family, along with Mrs. Marcella Bennett, came to visit friends who lived in the same abandoned factory. After a pleasant evening they went to the car and saw a man lying beside it, who slowly rose and stared at them with his burning eyes. The men rushed back into the house and hurriedly closed the door. The Mothman walked over, stood in front of the window, and stared at them through the glass for several minutes. The people called the police, but when the police arrived, the Mothman was gone. Over the next 3 months, more than 100 people reported that they had seen the Mothman around Point Pleasant. Then the number of sightings waned, and in 1967 the Mothman finally left the vicinity of the town. Many people attribute the creature's disappearance to the bridge collapse. On December 15, 1967, at 5 p.m. the Silver Bridge, which spanned the Ohio River and connected Point Pleasant and Gallipolis, collapsed. The stress of the increased traffic before Christmas caused one of the suspension rods to collapse, resulting in a chain collapse of the bridge structure. According to witnesses, the bridge collapsed completely within 1 minute. 46 people died. Based on the numerous testimonies, it is possible to make an appearance of the Mothman. About 2 to 2.5 meters tall, wider than a man, with a cylindrical torso. There is no head as such. Dark skin, covered with wool. Wings on his shoulders like a bat with a wingspan of up to 3.5 m, flapping in flight. Arms and legs like a human. And absolutely everyone noted the huge red burning eyes that had some kind of hypnotic effect. It literally sucked me in with its eyes. I just floated and couldn't see or distinguish anything. Instead of a moth, I saw some blurred outline in front of me. It was like my energy was going out of me. It was just awful, was how many people described the effect of the Mothman gaze. It is human nature to seek answers to the mysteries of nature. What are the versions about the nature of the Mothman? The first version is paranormal. In the area of Point Pleasant there is an anomalous zone, which opens the passage from the other world to ours. The Mothman is a creature from another world that accidentally came to us. The second version is biological. The Mothman is a mutated owl or owl that has mutated to enormous size. The third version is ufological. They were representatives of an alien expedition that visited Earth. The fourth version, secret experiments. The encounters with the Mothman were hallucinations, the result of the military testing a new type of psychotropic weapon on the inhabitants of the city. So everyone can choose the most appropriate one. While scientists are searching for the truth, the residents of Point Pleasant took patronage of the monster and made it a local landmark. The town has a museum and research center for the mysterious flying man, and a festival dedicated to the Mothman is held annually in September. On the main street stands a sculpture depicting an honorary resident of the city. The impression is that the city not only remembers him, but waits for his return. Perhaps, one day he will hear their call and come back.